Hi there, welcome back to another Crypto Dave video. So today I'm going to be doing a Crypto Portfolio 2020 update video. Now a few people have reached out to me asking me what coins I'm holding, etc, etc. So I'm just going to go over that. Now I did an initial video on this back in February this year, so just about 6 months ago, and the sort of makeup of those kind of portfolios has changed a little bit since then. So I thought it was a good chance to sit down and run over kind of my coins, talk about kind of why I'm holding them and stuff like that. So as we enter this kind of bullish phase, I'm going to be talking over what crypto I'm holding, the ratio of Bitcoin to altcoins. It's always popular with people, how much you should be in altcoins, how much you should be in Bitcoins in a bullish cycle. And then I'm going to run over the differences between my two different portfolios. So I have an investment portfolio where I've bought all the coins, and then my original portfolio, which is all mining and staking stuff. So this was rolls back to 2013 when I started kind of mining cryptocurrencies, and consists of a broader portfolio of kind of coin stuff that I've mined, stuff that I've staked and swapped in and out of since then. And then we'll look at what's changed over the last 6 months, and then finally kind of why I'm holding the coins I am. So let's jump over to this first slide. Now there will be a link to the original video in the description below, but basically this was our investment portfolio in early 2020. So this was in February, and as you can see here, 92-93% Bitcoin, just under 5% Ethereum, and then a few other little kind of coins that I got. So we've got NAV, MCO and Litecoin, and then a tiny amount of kind of others. Now that has changed a bit over the last 6 months. This is that same portfolio today. So this is sort of late August 2020, so roughly 6 months later, we can see the amount of Bitcoin has reduced a bit. Our second largest is now Link, followed by CRO and Ethereum, and we've still got a tiny bit of a Litecoin there. Now if we jump back, you can see from 93% Bitcoin, 5% Ethereum, down to 82%. So we've lost about 10% worth of Bitcoin in terms of the percentages. Ethereum roughly the kind of same. Now Navcoin we sold off eventually. I've been holding that for kind of like years and years, and eventually sold it up. I was intended to kind of clean up this portfolio a little bit, and I've done that. I've got rid of some of the small coins. The CRO you see here relates a little bit to 20,000 CRO, which I bought in order to do a series on the syndicate events on the crypto.com platform. You'll notice that the MCO token is gone now. That's been exchanged over to CRO. So the only other kind of big change really here is Link, and it may look like I've bought a lot of Link, but I actually haven't. I bought this Link back in March, I think it was early March 2020, and just the price has done really well. So I haven't actually bought that much, £2,000 or £3,000 worth I think it was of Link over a small period of kind of time, but that's gone up probably 550%, something like that. So it's more than 5x, so that's making up a larger proportion of the portfolio. Similarly with the CRO, I bought that back in May, end of May, and that's doubled in price as well. Our Ethereum remains the same. I have actually bought more Bitcoin, probably somewhere in the region of £10,000 to £12,000 more Bitcoin that I was kind of like buying sort of earlier in the year, and that kind of ran for a few weeks after I did the last kind of update video. So in terms of what I've bought, I've probably bought proportionally more Bitcoin, or certainly as much Bitcoin as anything else. But because of the price increases really of kind of Link and CRO, that's why the percentage kind of Bitcoin has gone down. But I'm not particularly unhappy with that. I think holding some alts, Ethereum's had a bit of a decent kind of run recently as well, but CRO not a long-term hold for me by any stretch of the imagination, but Link I'm happy to hold going into this kind of bullish market, and we'll see kind of where it goes to. And then moving over to the mining and staking portfolio, so this is where we sat in early 2020. So roughly 50% in Bitcoin, 25% roughly in Ethereum, and then a number of other kind of smaller altcoins. So we had Neo, Stellar, Horizon, Icon, Cardano, Litecoin, XRP, Energy, and then some others. So small amounts when we get down to the thing, but we had sort of 4 or 5% of some of these kind of large ones like Neo, Stellar, and Horizon. And again, this has changed over the last 6 months. If we move over, you can see the amount of Bitcoin has gone down 10%. Now, I haven't really kind of purchased or sold any Bitcoin from this particular portfolio. What we're seeing here is just an increase really in the price of some of these kind of alts. So we're now seeing stuff like Cardano moving up the list, Icon, Neo. We've got a small amount in USDT that is sat there basically kind of like waiting for any particular kind of last minute kind of coin I might want to kind of purchase this year before we go into, I think, a full-on bull run next year. And then we've got other stuff like Library. So these libraries isn't stuff that I've bought. This is through publishing on the Library platform, as well as various airdrops and stuff like that. And we've got CEL, which is the Celsius token, and this is all from interest on our crypto interest account. So the makeup has moved around a little bit. Stella's dropped down. That wouldn't have dropped down, but I did actually sell a load of Stella. I'm currently rebuilding my position, but we can see the big spike up in things like Cardano, Icon, even Neo's had a reasonable kind of run. They're just moving up in percentage terms, slightly greater percentage terms than before. But it's mainly kind of Bitcoin. Ethereum's a fraction up. If we look before, we were about 24% and we're up to 26%. I haven't bought any more Ethereum, bought or sold Ethereum or Bitcoin, and Bitcoin down 10%. And that's just because some of these smaller cap coins are increasing their prices more rapidly than Bitcoin. And we tend to see this in a kind of bull run. This portfolio is a lot more aggressive than the other one, but again, this is coins that originally I staked and mined. So back in 2013, when I started mining cryptocurrency, this portfolio would have been pretty much all Litecoin, and then I started mining stuff like Darkcoin, which became Dash, Ethereum. I was quite an early kind of miner of kind of Ethereum, and then as the years have kind of gone on, we've got rid of some of those coins, so we sold off a lot of Litecoin and Dash and stuff like that into some of these other coins. I've continued to mine bits and pieces. Most of this Bitcoin has come from mining or just selling off of other bits and pieces. Excuse me. But it's a lot more risky, this kind of portfolio. We are in smaller kind of caps, but during a bull market, what we tend to see is that these smaller kind of cap coins can really go on a kind of tear. If anybody's looked at what Chainlink's been doing this year, or a lot of the DeFi kind of coins, stuff like that. So we're looking at stuff like Algorand and Kyber Network and stuff like that. And we do own a number of those coins in our other. So these are small amounts, maybe like $100 worth, or $50, $100, couple of $100 worth, often from stuff like the syndicate events, but also just sort of like residual kind of coins that we've kind of traded here and there. So that's basically what's happened. If we look across the portfolios as a whole, from investment here, so from early 2020 to late 2020, basically just a rebalancing, but not really not a kind of planned rebalancing, basically just the amount of Bitcoin or percentage of Bitcoin decreasing over time as altcoins have increased in price. And we can see the same thing here. This is the mining and staking portfolio from 50% Bitcoin down to 40%. So as some of these other coins have increased in price, they're taking up a larger sort of like segment of the pie. So that's it for this video. If you have any kind of questions, let me know in the description below. A lot of people may be a bit surprised that I'm not holding more alts or a greater variety, but as you can see here, almost all of my holdings across both portfolios is in Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then we're just looking at some other coins here. So Link, taking up a bigger proportion of the portfolio due to the increase in price, and then stuff like Cardano, Icon, Neo. Neo's not necessarily one I will hold through the extent of the next bull market. It's a coin that I think maybe in some ways been superseded by a few others that have come along, but I do hold some Neo. I'm happy to kind of hold it and wait for the price to increase in the bull market and then maybe kind of move out. But I'm a big fan of stuff like Cardano. I quite like Icon. And then some of these decentralized platforms for publishing like Library, I'm a big kind of fan of. I sync my YouTube channel here over to Library. You may be watching this video actually on Library, but I'm a big supporter of them. And then we've got stuff like Horizon. So this is on the sort of staking and masternode side of things. Anyway, that's it for this update. Thanks very much for watching as always. Let me know if you have questions, and hopefully I will see you on the next video. But until then, have a great day. Bye-bye.